Hello everyone, I am Gurudat. This is the fourth video of Professional Ethics, Accountancy of Lawyers and Bar and Bench Relation. This is the second video of the part Contempt of Court. Second video of Contempt of Court. In the first video of Contempt of Court, we have studied what is the meaning of Contempt of Court, how it has historically evolved, what is the reasons that we should have Contempt of Court law, and lastly the constitutional provisions which provide the background, the base to the Contempt of Courts Act 1971. We have seen how Article 129 gives the power to Supreme Court for being the court of record. Similarly, we have studied Article 141, 142 and 144. Now in this video we will be studying Contempt of Courts Act 1971. Section 2. We have already studied the definition of contempt of court in part 1, but still let's revise it. And do remember that you have for the point of exam you have to learn this definition. Civil contempt means willful disobedience to any judgment, decree, direction, order, writ or other process of a court, or willful breach of any undertaking given to the court. As simple as that. If you are not following any order of the court, then that will be a civil contempt. What will be the criminal contempt? Criminal contempt means the publication, whether by words spoken or written, or by signs, or by visible representation, or otherwise, of any matter or doing of any other act whatsoever which scandalizes, prejudices, interferes the administration of justice or judicial proceeding, in simple. So, do remember this definition and try to learn it word by word. It is very important. Now let's see what are the essentials for conviction for contempt of court. Before any conviction, the court should be satisfied A. that something has been published which either is clearly intended or at least is calculated to prejudice a pending trial. So intention should be very clear. See what intended. Now intention comes into the mind. If you are doing something unintentionally, then you should not be held guilty of contempt of court. Only with the proper malified intention and a calculated intention, if you are doing something which is prejudicial to the administration of justice, then only you will be convicted for contempt of court. Second, that the offending matter was published with the knowledge of the pending cause or with the knowledge of that the cause was imminent. So if you are writing something without the knowledge that this matter is pending in the court of justice, then that will also not be a contempt of court. To be held guilty for the contempt of court, you must know that matter is pending. For example, there is a criminal case pending against somebody, and there is a civil case pending against something, but you are still writing about that matter, without knowing that the matter is pending in the court of law. Then that will not be counted as contempt of court. C. that the matter published intended substantially to interfere with the due course of justice and was calculated substantially to create prejudice in the mind of public. Now the last thing is that it should be a calculated and substantial thing. If you are saying some minor, you are passing some minor statements or writing some minor things about a matter pending in the court of law, then that probably will not be a contempt of court. For being something to be contempt of court, it should be substantially interfere with the process of justice, with the due course of justice, and create prejudice in the mind of public. Second, the offence of contempt of court will always be tried summarily. So it should be a summary trial. The process of contempt of court will be a summary trial. I hope you don't know the meaning of summary trial and warrant trial. If you don't know, go and have a relook at your criminal law book, CRPC. Third, civil contempt is also an offence. So not only criminal contempt, but civil contempt is also an offence. Now we have certain exceptions given in the Contempt of Court Act 1971. So let me, on this point of time, I must inform you that this particular act, Contempt of Courts Act, Contempt of Court Act 1971, was not formed to punish anyone for contempt of court. It was enacted. This act was enacted to define the limits of contempt of court. It was against the power, it restricted the power of High Court and Supreme Court uh, uh, to that only certain things will fall under the contempt of court and others will not fall under the contempt of court. It defines the boundary of power of contempt of court. Therefore, there are many sections which provide exception to contempt of court. For example, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these sections are exceptions that these things should not be held as contempt of court. The first is section 3 is innocent publication and distribution of matter, not contempt. So if you are innocently distributing something, printing something, then that will not be contempt. That says that mala fide intention is very important. If the intention is not mala fide, then it will not be contempt. Anything done with the bona fide intention will not be held as contempt. I know. Now, I hope you know the meaning of mala fide and bona fide. Mala fide is something which is done with the wrong intention, while bona fide is done something with the right intention. Section 4 says fair and accurate report of judicial proceeding, not contempt. So if some judge misbehaves with an advocate in the court, for example, a high court judge is misbehaving with the advocate in the court, and a reporter publishes article regarding the same in any newspaper, then that will not be a contempt. If you are doing your job, if you are writing fairly and accurately reporting the judicial proceeding, then that will not be a contempt. Fair criticism is not contempt. Now, if you are fairly criticizing some judgment, if you do not agree with some judgment, for example, right to privacy judgment, Puttaswamy judgment, or maybe Sabrimala judgment or Ayodhya judgment, if you do not agree with the judgment, you think that the judgment, the obiter dicta is wrong, the ratio decidendi is wrongly interpreted, then you can criticize it. Fair criticism is not a contempt. The problematic thing is that the court will decide whether the criticism is fair or not. That's also a point, but still, section 5 says that fair criticism is not a contempt. Then comes section 6, complaint against presiding officers of subordinate courts is not contempt of court. So if you are complaining against some civil judge, against district judge maybe, that he is involved in corruption, and then that complaint will not be contempt, will not constitute contempt of court. You have every right to complain against any judge to the superior authorities. Section 7, publication of information relating to proceeding in chamber or in camera are not contempt except in certain cases. So if some proceedings are going on in court of law, as I've already told you, fair reporting is not contempt. Similarly, if you are publishing something, some information which is going in the court of law, something happened in court of law, in court, and you published it, then that will not be held as contempt of court except in certain conditions. Section 8, other defenses not affected. So apart from these defenses, you can raise other defenses, and section 8 says that those defenses are not affected by this act. That means that you have these defenses. Apart from these defenses, you can also raise other defenses, and that will also be accepted. Section 9, act not to imply enlargement of scope of contempt. So this act is not made to enlarge the scope of contempt. It is to diminish, it is to decrease, or it is to set limits to the scope of contempt. As I've already told you, this act was passed not to enlarge the powers of court, but to decrease the powers of court. It defined contempt, it decreased the power of court. Section 11, high courts have power to try even those acts committed outside their territorial jurisdiction or by persons who live outside the jurisdiction of said high court. So if somebody in Mumbai scandalizes the High Court of Allahabad, then Allahabad High Court can also take action against that person in Mumbai. So territorial jurisdiction has been enlarged through this section. Now let's come to the punishment of contempt of court. Through Prashant Bhushan case, everyone knows the punishment of contempt of court, although he was fined only 1 rupees. So the maximum punishment is 6 months imprisonment or 2,000 rupees fine, or both. 6 month imprisonment, 2,000 fine, or both, provided that the accused may be discharged or the punishment awarded may be remitted on apology being made to the satisfaction of court. Remember, if you are bona fidely making an apology in front of court, then the court may discharge you. Remember, in Prashant Bhushan case, he refused to apologize in front of court. He said that whatever he has said, he believed in it and he refused to apologize. Therefore, he was held guilty and punished. Explanation: an apology shall not be rejected merely on the ground that it is qualified or conditional if the accused makes it bona fide. So you can make a bona fide apology, maybe with some conditions or qualifications. Contempt not punishable in certain cases. Section 13 says that Section 13 says that you will not be punished for contempt of court until and unless what you are saying, what you are doing, substantially interferes or tends to substantially interfere with due course of justice. So, for example, now this substantial word is very important. That's where things become different for a known personality and an unknown person. For example, an unknown person in a village says something about Supreme Court. Probably he doesn't have that public power. He doesn't have that reach that he can substantially interfere with the course of justice. Then that particular person who is living in a village may not be held guilty of contempt of court. But if the same sentence is said by a Supreme Court lawyer, then he will have the power to interfere with the process of justice because of his status as Supreme Court lawyer. He is practicing in the highest court of the country. His statement will be published by newspapers, he will be shared by various social media platforms, and he has that power that he can substantially affect the course of justice, and therefore he may be held as guilty of contempt of court. That's where a difference between a common man and a person with reputation or a power to influence Supreme Court or High Court or any court makes difference. But the proviso also said that in order to constitute contempt, it is not necessary that the actual interference has taken place. It's not necessary that actual interference can take place. Only if there's a possibility of interference, then also it can be held as a contempt of court. There's no need of actual interference. Only a possibility, merely a possibility, can result in contempt of court. Then cognizance of criminal contempt in other cases. Section 14 says that High Court and Supreme Court should provide a fair procedure for adjudication of contempt of court cases. Now this section is also very important. It says that the court should retain their power and should give fair chance to the adjudication of contempt of court. Many people, including certain prominent legal scholars, also held that in Prashant Bhushan's case, he was not given a chance of fair procedure for adjudication. It was a big controversy whether he was given fair chance or not. Next, section 15 says that cognizance of case of criminal contempt can only be initiated by cognizance can only be taken. You know the meaning of cognizance. Cognizance means suo motu action. So cognizance can be taken only by either Supreme Court or High Court on its own motion, by request of some Advocate General, by request of some Attorney General, by request of Solicitor General, any person with consent in writing from the Advocate General. If these are complaining, then High Court or Supreme Court can take a suo motu cognizance. Thank you. If there is any doubt still in contempt of court, you may please comment. I'll be answering in it. Thank you.